Hi everyone, welcome to the Junior Pathways presentation for 2024. Looking forward to announce what our program looks like for next year. You can find the calendar on our website, which should be just beneath this video. And I'm going to be going through all the programs that Squash Victoria offer in the junior space, starting with the Battle of the Border. I'm going to go through the Australian Junior Squash Tour and the Junior Performance Program. I'll also then go into the state team and the Australian Junior Championships and how all that works. We've also got a few other programs like our Junior Performance Program for AJC players and our State Pathways Camp. I'll also then go into some more details around Squash Australia categorisation and the pathways beyond squash. And finally, I'm going to be going through the changes to the way we're running our bronze and silver tournaments in 2024 and how that can impact on the national rankings. So the Battle of the Border is going to be on Saturday, 20th of January 2024, and it's going to be held in Horsham. So for those who aren't familiar with this, it's pretty much a test match between South Australia and Victoria. We essentially select players to compete against the opposing states, and we try and balance it evenly so that players get good matches. For 2024, we're primarily looking for under 11s and 13 players to represent the team, but we're also open to older age group players. So it really comes down to availability of who's available and what the opposing state bring in terms of their players, so we can have an even contest. The following day, on the Sunday 21st, is going to be an AJST silver event, and there's going to be some great prizes on offer for the top 3 finishing A-grade boys and the A-grade girls. So it's really going to be one of those big tournaments that I strongly encourage everyone to come and play. Because it's school holidays, we're then also going to run a camp on the 22nd and 23rd of January. And that's going to be 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. on the Monday, and then 9 a.m. till 1 p.m. on the Tuesday. So all of this information is going to be on our website, and you can sign up for the tournament, or you can sign up for the camp, or ideally both. We've also got some great partners who are helping out reducing the cost with accommodation, so have a look at the information provided around them. So the Australian Junior Squash Tour is where all the tournaments take place. There's 4 tiers. There's bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. Each tier you get more and more ranking points for that tournament. So in Victoria, we host 6 bronze tournaments a year. There's 4 silvers, 1 gold, and the platinum events rotate around Australia. So starting with the bronze tournaments, in 2024, these are all going to be ability-based divisions. For most of them, we're also going to host a JPP clinic prior to the event. So that way players are able to get some training, some coaching right before they go into a participation style event. It's really open to all abilities, so we strongly encourage players starting at the bronze level. Moving into the silver tournaments, it's also going to be ability-based divisions in 2024. So typically these were gender and age group divisions. In 2024, they'll be ability-based. With the exception of Horsham, we are going to keep it as an A grade and for boys and girls, purely because we have some great prizes on offer and we want that to be equal amongst the genders. All of the silver events contribute to state team selection, so it's really important you make yourself available to play as many of these as possible if you're wanting to be selected in the state team, and I'll go through the state team selection process shortly. The gold tournament, there's one every year, and this is age group divisions. So this is where you play in either under 11s, 13s, 15s, 17s or 19s for boys and girls, and it also is a state team selection event. It's also the only 2-day event that we have on our calendar. Finally, the platinum events. We're very lucky in 2024 to have 2 platinum events being played in Melbourne, and they're also going to be back-to-back weekends. So the Australian Junior Open will be at MSAC, and the Oceania Junior Championships will be the following week, and that will be during the Easter school holidays. So these are national level events, and it's the highest level of competition that's available for juniors. In the September school holidays, we have the Australian Junior Championships, and that will be held in Sydney. And this is where the state team play their teams event competition, which I'll go into more details shortly. So the Junior Performance Program will have a few changes in 2024. This is a coaching program designed for players to improve their squash And it's a performance level program where we're looking to develop players in their squash court abilities, increase their fitness, and their overall squash playing abilities. So the Future Stars program is guided towards under 11s and under 13 players. So when you're looking on the 2024 calendar, when you see Future Stars, that's a session that typically runs right before our state squad sessions, which is the next category, which is guided towards under 15s, 17s, and 19s. Now, these are just guides. However, we do prefer to keep the younger kids in the Future Stars program and the older kids in the state squad. So try and make sure you stick to your age groups. And if you are wanting to swap to a different program, please get in touch with us and we can talk about that. We also have clinics and camps. They're also highlighted in green on the calendar. They're open to all ages and all abilities. Finally, the JPP sessions highlighted in red, they happen after the state team has already been selected. For these training sessions, this is for anyone who is going to be competing at the Australian Junior Championships. So for the state team, there's no under 11 players selected, and there's also some players may miss out on selection. So what we're looking to do is if any player who is going to be playing in that tournament is able to attend these training sessions to help with their preparation, regardless of if they've made the team or not. There's also state team requirements. So for those players who are selected, Metro players will need to attend 3 sessions and country players will need to attend 2 sessions of these highlighted in red JPP training sessions to make sure that they are fulfilling their training requirements to play in the state team. In 2024, a few more changes. So it's going to be pay as you go, and all the bookings will take place via our website. So there's no need to have a year-long commitment. You can simply pay for each session as you go along. So JPP training is not required for the state team selection during December till June. So I've highlighted all of those training sessions in green. So that's just to re-emphasize that these aren't compulsory, whereas in previous years, there typically would be some form of criteria to attend these sessions. As mentioned just before, there's a minimum of 2 and 3 JPP AJC players sessions for country and metro players respectively. The State Pathways camp is not inclusive of this requirement. So for the players who attended JPP in 2023, you will get a free t-shirt for 2024. We're also having some VIS integrated into our conditioning program. So that's the Victorian Institute of Sport. They're going to be helping with writing some strength conditioning programs for our players in the program, as well as some things for them to do outside of the training at the courts. So the Victorian Junior State Team. In 2023, we actually won the teams event, which is the first time we achieved that since 1989. So it was a great result from all the players in the team. So how this event works, it's tied into the Australian Junior Championships, which is on your calendar towards the end of the year in September school holidays. So the first portion of the event is an individuals tournament, typical to what you would see at a gold event. However, it's a couple of days longer. So again, this is a national level event. Anyone can enter it, and it's a very challenging event because of the length of the tournament and the high level of competition. So we do encourage players to have a good foundation before entering a national level tournament. Immediately following this is the teams event, and this is where the state team compete. So how this event works is Victoria will play a different state in the morning, followed by another state in the afternoon. For example, we might play New South Wales in the morning, and then we might play Queensland in the afternoon. Across the competition, we will eventually play every state, and the overall team is announced as the team's champion. To make the teams event, there are 2 divisions. So there's a Division 1 team, and there's a Division 2 team. So for both, we select players in the under 13s, 15s, 17s, and 19s age categories for both boys and girls. So the Division 1 team makes up of our top 2 players for each of these age categories. The third player forms the Division 2 team. So if we were to take the top 2 of every age group, that makes 16 players. So 2 in each age group, 2 13 boys, 2 13 girls, 2 15 boys, 2 15 girls, etc. And for the Division 2 team, it's that third ranked player for under 13 boys, third for under 13 girls, and etc. So realistically, finishing top 2 in your age group will enhance your ability to be selected in the state team. The state team selection criteria has changed for 2024. Previous years, we have had a points-based system where you accumulate points based on where you finish. In 2024, we're going to be having a panel of 5 coaches, which is our JPP and state team coaches, which will be selecting the team. So in order to be eligible, you must play a minimum of 1 country silver tournament, which is your Horsham or Wodonga silver event. And you need to play a minimum of 1 Metro silver tournament, which is your Westerfolds or Gladstone Park tournament. You also must play the Victorian Junior Championships, which is held at MSAC. And the results from these 5 tournaments will be considered. So there's 4 silver events and 1 Victorian gold event, where our panel of 5 coaches will be selecting the team based off of these results. Now, once the team is selected, players will need to meet the training requirements as mentioned previously, which is attending the JPP AJC players training sessions. Metro players will need to attend 3 sessions, and country players will need to attend 2 sessions. You also need to be a Squash and Racquetball Victorian member in order to be selected for the Victorian Junior State Team. And if for some reason you are unable to meet any of this criteria, you must communicate to Squash and Racquetball Victoria regarding your injuries, illnesses, or other tournament commitments, which are acceptable reasons if you're not able to achieve this criteria. So the state team will be announced during the presentations of the Victorian Junior Championships, and we will be offering flexible travel in 2024. This was the first time we introduced it in 2023, and we'll be continuing it. For more information, please reach out to Squash and Racquetball Victoria, and we'll be able to explain this process for you. We're also looking to run a tour group in 2024 for the Australian Junior Championships. So this is a group who will be playing in the individuals event, but they weren't able to play in the state team. So this is typically your under 11s players where there is no under 11s category in the teams event, or players who weren't able to be selected in the state team. So we're hoping to have some parent volunteers to help out with this tour group. The State Pathways Camp is run by Squash Australia in conjunction with Squash and Racquetball Victoria. For 2024, it will be held on the 30th of August till the 1st of September. It is selection based, and players will be notified of their selection to attend this training camp. So I'm just going to go over the Squash Australia categorisation. So there's 2 programs that Squash Australia run called the Talent Squad and the Next Gen Squad. So both programs are looking to identify players who have the potential to play for Australia at a World Junior Championships in the future. So the Talent Squad is typically for the older athletes, around under 17s and under 19s, and the Next Gen Squad is typically for your younger players who have the future potential to be selected in some years to come. So both of these programs give you some perks. So you're able to attend some training camps, and you're able to get access to some greater resources. So aiming to be within the top 6 in your age group in Australia would put you with a good chance of being selected for a World Junior Championships when you are of age in the under 19s category. So if you are looking to progress your squash, aiming to be within those top 6 nationally will definitely enhance your abilities to have access to some greater resources and help your squash development. For the older juniors who are looking to progress into a university course once they finish school, there's a lot of athlete pathways programs on offer from a wide variety of universities. Each of these programs are slightly different in their nature, but they all follow a similar premise where if you're playing at a high level of squash, or you're participating in a program like the Junior Performance Program, which is a state level program, this can help with your university application. In recent applications, we've had some players utilise this when applying for Monash University, where you can gain up to 10 ATAR points. So for those familiar with the Year 12 system, that's essentially very helpful in gaining entry into a prestigious university like Monash. La Trobe University also have a very strong program where you can gain early acceptance with a fairly moderately scoring ATAR. So it's definitely, there's lots of different programs out there, and I encourage you to explore them if you are looking to be accepted to a university, and reach out to Squash and Racquetball Victoria, and we can help with that application typically you will need to have a written reference from the state body. So please get in contact and we can help out for our junior performance program players and those in our state team. There's also lots of opportunities to get additional match practice. So on the screen, I've put up a list of senior graded events, which start with the Mountain District Open on the 4th of February. And there's lots in Melbourne, and there's also lots in country regions, such as the Bendigo and Shepparton Open in June and July. I've also listed the Oceania Junior Championships, which is going to be held in New Zealand. So this is an international event, and it's going to be played on the 5th to 7th of December in 2023. Entries will be closing very shortly, so I would suggest having a look at getting your entry in if you are looking to play this tournament. Now, the interstate gold tournaments, I'm going to go into the national ranking shortly, but it's a very good idea to pencil these dates in and try and get to probably at least 1 to 2 of these events, maybe even more if you're wanting to play lots of these tournaments. But essentially, the gold events is what helps build your national ranking. You can get some good ranking points from bronze and silver events, but naturally gold offers lots more ranking points, and it's advantageous to play a few of these tournaments if you're wanting to be a top 10 player in ranked Australia. So the national rankings is utilised for seedings for silver and gold and platinum tournaments. We use squash levels for bronze tournaments due to new players competing in tournaments typically haven't played a lot of AJST events before, and squash levels typically pulls a bit more data in and we can get a bit more of an accurate idea around where these players are to help with seedings. So your national ranking is formed of your best 5 tournaments in the past 12 months. So all of the AJST tournaments, you get a certain amount of points depending on where you finish, what age group you are, and what division you played. So essentially the higher tiered events like your golds and your platinums, you're going to get a lot more points than your bronze and your silvers. So if you're looking to improve your national ranking and in hand improve your seedings at tournaments, improving your national ranking points is going to be vital for doing that. And you'll need to accumulate 5 really good scores to have a high level seeding. Now, we are going to be having a few changes in 2024. So ability-based divisions will be used for silver events. Now, if you want to read through the national ranking policy, it's on the Squash Australia website. But in short, playing in ability-based divisions does hinder your ability to accumulate national ranking points. However, we've chosen to do this because we would prefer to see players play in close ability divisions, which means they're going to get closer matches, and it's better for player development. Now, this also means that bronze level players can also play silver tournaments, so there's 4 more tournaments a year that our participation players can compete in annually. Now, for players who are wishing to be ranked within the top 10 in Australia, I would recommend playing 3 platinum events, which is your Australian Junior Championships, your Australian Junior Open, and your Oceania Junior Championships. When it's held in Australia, it's not necessary to play it every time when it's in New Zealand, because that tournament alternates every year. And I'd also recommend playing between 2 to 3 gold events. So one of those gold events will be the Victorian Junior Championships, and perhaps you want to play another gold event that's local, such as more of a local state, such as South Australia, Tasmania, ACT, or New South Wales, where the cost of travelling for these events isn't as high as potentially going to play Queensland or Western Australia. So essentially, if you were to play 2 to 3 gold events and 3 platinum events, the points you would score from those 6 tournaments alone should form your top 5 tournaments, which forms your national ranking, and you wouldn't require any points from your silver events. So even though we've changed our system in 2024 to ability-based divisions, and this does slightly hinder your point scoring ability, for your top tier and top level players, this shouldn't affect your national ranking, providing you've played 2 to 3 gold events and providing you've played your 3 platinum events. If you want to read through the full policy, head to the Squash Australia website. If you have any questions on the Junior Pathways for 2024, please contact me at jpp@squashvic.com.au and stay tuned for when we release our full updated Victorian Junior policy with all this information documented.